Okay, guys, so welcome back to another weekly watch list video. I am currently on vacation, so we're on a different setup for the moment. We will be here all week, but I'll be continuing to make videos and be in our Discord all week. With that being said, this week is a very big inflation week for the macro, okay? And that's the economic data that we see coming out on Wednesday with the CPI and on Thursday with the PPI. So these are just more inflation gauges that the Fed looks at. That's all it is. We want to see, and the Fed wants to see, inflation start to go down. We haven't really seen that yet. The jobs number on Friday was absolutely insane. Very, very strong labor market. What that usually will lead to is a wage price spiral. And all that means is if there's not enough jobs and there's such demand for those jobs, the workers get paid more. So when workers get paid more and businesses have to fight to get these workers, they pass those costs on to the consumer by raising their prices. And that hurts and makes inflation even higher. So, that's where we're currently at for the moment. That's our economic calendar. That's all I'm really interested in for this week is the CPI on Wednesday and the PPI on Thursday. So if you're day trading, swing trading, you need to be aware of these very key economic data and the times they come out and how the market reacts to them. So that's our economic calendar. Our earnings for the week are right here. If you're interested, I'm still going to post it in our Discord, but you could always just go on and check out Earnings Whispers. So, a lot of earnings, but earnings season for the big stocks that control the entire market, they've already come, they've already gone. We saw how the market reacted to these earnings, which has been very good. And now for our sectors for the week, what has been really good: technology, communication services. Energy has been very bad for the week, as we saw oil just totally tank, which has been good for gasoline prices. But on a one-day relative performance, energy was at the top on Friday. And that is because of that strong labor market showing that recession is not even a thing right now, because you cannot have that strong of a labor market and that many jobs created in a recession. It just does not happen. And the unemployment rate fell. So, suggesting demand is going to continue to be strong. Energy prices went back up. So that was good for Friday for energy. And then we have the 1 month down here. I just like to look at the sectors. I like to see how the market reacts to certain things. For the week, energy was down the most. So just something to keep in mind there on the sectors. And now we go into the SPY. This is our compass. This is what I look at to determine, just like I did last week, where I see the market going and where it came from and possibly going to go. While it's absolutely impossible to predict the future, I like to look at historical patterns. They don't have to repeat, but a lot of times these patterns will. So looking at the daily chart, always like to look at these bigger time frames. So we're going to look at the daily chart here. And what we notice is this consolidation, okay? Right back here towards the end of May, early June, we consolidated here for about 2 weeks. before we broke out of that consolidation. The break out of the consolidation was actually to the downside. So last week, coming into our video and showing where we might go, what I had predicted was consolidation, just like we saw here. So that's exactly what we got. We got the consolidation here. Now, this coming week, really with Wednesday, with the CPI, and Thursday and Friday, with how the market trades after that, we should expect a move, whether it's a breakout to the upside or a breakdown. I think that we're not going to consolidate any more than we did here. So this was about 2 weeks. So here, we're sitting about just over a week of consolidation. So going into this week, we could see some more consolidation before a breakout, a breakdown, just something to keep in mind that comes with some big inflation data we're going to see. While that being said, we still are in the summer months. So volume is a little bit lighter. People are on vacation. These rallies can really continue to go during this, real lack of the volume and the traders being out there. What happens in September when everybody comes back, that's a different story. But right now, let's see if we could get some continuation. If we do, we have a weekly level here at 420. So just keep that in mind. So that's the SPY. Going over to our tech stocks, the Qs on the daily. There you go, coming right into this trend line. So this trend line was at the beginning of the year, right here in March and April. And then we're seeing it kind of struggle a little bit at this trend line. So if you don't have this trend line drawn on your daily chart, you should really start to draw these trend lines. This is the lower lows, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It would be nice to break out of this trend line, but even if you do, you're just going to have the 200 moving average up here right above you. We could also, consolidate for a bit more. We are a little bit extended and then come back and retest, some of this 310 area, 308 on the weekly. So that's the Qs. Just running through some of these. The Dow, just like we said last week, was coming into this downtrend line and previous consolidation, which then turns into some overhead supply and resistance. And that's what we've seen on the Dow. So, really very calculated moves, pretty easy to predict from last week. The more you consolidate, although, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. But the first move up is kind of easy to call. Well, you had this trend line and you had previous consolidation. That's where price is going to want to gravitate towards. So that's the Dow Jones Industrial. The IWM, which is the Russell 2K, is coming right into exactly where we were in June. It's had a great rebound, but coming into a lot of resistance now. So that's the IWM. And this is just something that I'm noticing on most charts. So most charts are coming into resistance. That's why I think this week, if we consolidate a little bit, we may pull back. It is possible that we get a little bit of a pullback as a lot of these indexes are at overbought territory. And that's right up here on the RSI, just about hitting 69 there. 70 is considered overbought. We're at the highest levels on the daily chart in well over a year on the IWM. So when things overheat, they cool off a little bit. Let's see what happens but that's the IWM. One thing I wanted to show you guys from last week and why I post some of this stuff, my picks or my stocks to watch on our, Sunday picks, is because of this. So this was on our watch list last week. And if we go over to our Discord really quickly, I just want to show you guys what we posted. So Uber, I think, may be ready for a breakout of this long base. So this base is the perfect time for investors to really start to add on to shares, because the market is not selling it off anymore. It's creating a base. So bases are great to trade. So it's gotten hammered down all year with earnings, helping most beaten down stocks. Let's see how this reacts this week. So this is what I posted. This was last week. We had ascending support coming into this downtrend, looking for a breakout. All right. What did we get? We got that breakout. And that breakout was a massive move. This trade right here, from when we posted, the price was 22 up to a high of 32, 33 almost. That is a beautiful, beautiful move. So that's Uber right there on that one. And let's see. I have a couple of things here that I have on watch for the week. I'm going to start with the ETF XBI. This is the biotech ETF. And what I noticed here on the daily chart is, while we saw a great breakout, and this is something that we posted a couple of months ago on our Sunday picks, we had a double bottom here into a beautiful breakout. And we've seen that breakout, a very nice breakout, consolidation, breakout. You see how it consolidates before it makes a move? The consolidation got the breakout. Over here, you get consolidation, and then we got the breakdown. So right here, we're coming into the 200 moving average. All right. So the first thing I would expect for that first tap of the 200 is a pullback. So what I would be looking for here is to get into puts for a little bit of a pullback. So keep these levels in mind when you're trading on Monday, Tuesday, whenever. But this is rejected all year long when it has touched the 200 moving average. So that XBI, looking for it possibly short. The volume has been very strong, but we're just overbought right now. Every time we've been overbought, we've sold off a little bit. So that's XBI for a possible short. Next up, we have Target. What is Target doing? Target looks like it has a cup, right? And now a handle form. It has earnings coming up on the 16th. That is next week. So probably going to get some consolidation here. We'll see what, analysts come out, maybe price targets ahead of time. A lot of bad news is already baked into this one, and you just have a huge gap here. So Target, keep in mind, we may trade with a little bit more of a handle, and then next week we're going to want to really watch this one because this could have the potential for a very nice break. So that's Target. Just keep that one on watch. Meta, another one. This is forming a base. This is just what we saw with Uber. It's forming a base. We have a very specific area here that the market loses its sellers, where the market has more buyers than sellers, where there's demand. very clear down here. So as we get tighter and tighter here, let's see if we get that move. Are we going to break down or are we going to break up out of it? Just keep this on watch. It has pulled back from the 50-day moving average, and it's now sitting at the 20 EMA. So price is getting tighter here, but the base is really been forming for the better part of a couple of months. So like we've seen with most other stocks that really start to base, we've seen that breakout. So, you know, a lot depends on the overall market as well. But Meta, just keep that one on watch. And XLE, energy. Energy was a huge winner for most of the year. And then all the profit taking that we see. And now at the 200, we've seen support. We come up, we hit the 50, and we sell off to the 200. The 200 acting as support, potentially. Again, oil prices have tanked. You know, so I'm thinking I would like to possibly get long again on energy as it's pulled back for maybe that retest of the 200 and then a continuation up higher as we get into the end of the year, when, you know, who knows what's going to happen with energy over in the UK, in, you know, with Russia, with Europe. So that can really make the supply limited. And, you know, you get that demand of a hot economy. You can see oil prices go back up. And if they go back up, this is going to continue to go back up. So we have right here a little bit of a pivot point, and then you had a higher high. This higher high ran into the 50. Okay, a lot of times when something does that, these will, you know, act as support and then resistance. Support, the 200 support, and then, you know, the second or third try, you can then break through. But like we showed on XBI, a lot of times that first touch, and I'll just show you guys that first touch of the 200, well, you see a pullback. So that's why I had this on there for a pullback. But going back to the XLE and seeing, you know, the jobs numbers and the demand in the economy and recession fears, you know, fading away, I could definitely see this one, you know, to really continue a little bit higher. We'll see if oil prices, you know, go up. But I do like cheaper gas. So that is that. And I think that's going to do it. Like I said, vacation, just trying to come on here, even though I am away, to make these videos. So please hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you back on the next one. Take care, guys.